Salam sejahtera saya Ahmad Ini kamu.
Hello there, you're now with me, Radzi Ahmad, for TVS English News at 5. Let us begin with some top stories for today. Now, the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Joharitun Openg, received a courtesy call from the Natural Resources Environment Board (NREB) at his office in Wisma Bapa, Malaysia on Monday. The delegation was led by the Controller of Environmental Quality Sarawak, Peggy Ronin Edit. Now, among others, the meeting was to brief the Premier on the 10th Premier Sarawak Environmental Awards (PSEA), which will be held on 14th December. The theme, Redefining Sustainability in Environmental Stewardship, it aims to ensure sustainable economic activities through the adoption of new technologies and innovation, as well as the continuation of environmentally sound practices. There are 5 main award categories, including industries, local authorities, government sectors, open eateries, and food outlets. First introduced in 2001, the Premier of Sarawak Environmental Award is one of the incentives introduced by the Sarawak government that aims to recognize the environmental effort of all levels of society in the state that have shown outstanding environmental stewardship and advocate sustainable green initiatives in their day-to-day operations and processes. There is also an urgent need to increase food production to ensure food remains affordable to all levels of society. Thus, promoting agriculture is vital to preserve our national food security and not relying on imports to meet domestic consumption.
Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Awang Tengah Ali Hassan said the country is yet to become self-sufficient in food production, having an annual food import bill that stands at about 50 billion ringgit. As such, the National Agro-Food Policy 2.0 puts the agriculture sector and food source production as the main agendas to ensure food security. This is done through the adoption of modern technologies and digitization, mechanization and automation into the agro-food sector in the 4th Industrial Revolution era. Tengah also said various short-term and long-term solutions are being done by the government to assist the recovery of agriculture frontliners throughout this challenging time. He said this when officiating the Agricultural Cooperative Opportunities Chain Transformation Seminar yesterday. Meanwhile, Tengah pointed out that 3,329 cooperatives registered across the country are involved in agriculture-related businesses to improve food security by increasing food productivity and in return generate a high income for agricultural entrepreneurs. He explained the cooperative sector is the 3rd most important sector after the private and public sectors with assets worth 140 billion ringgit. He added the sector is the best platform for holistic community development and would help in achieving the government's goal of improving the people's socio-economic inclusively.
In other news, Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim chaired a special cabinet meeting of the Unity Government at Perdana Putra on Monday. The meeting, which is the first cabinet meeting under the Unity Government, started at around 10 a.m. and was attended by all the cabinet ministers. Now, among the outcome agreed upon during the meeting was on the 20% salary cut for cabinet ministers.
Most of the cabinet ministers clocked into their respective offices today before attending the meeting. Deputy Prime Minister Dato' Sri Zahid Hamidi was the first minister seen to arrive at Perdana Putra at 8:02 a.m., followed by Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim 5 minutes later. Additionally, Zahid Hamidi had been tasked to chair the Disaster Management and Flood Preparedness Committee, while Deputy Prime Minister Dato' Sri Fadillah Yusof has been tasked to ensure all pending MA63-related matters to be expedited. Earlier on Friday, Anwar said that the special meeting was to discuss the ground rules for the ministers in carrying out their duties.
In addition to attending the special cabinet meeting with Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, The new unity government ministers clocked in at their respective ministries today in a symbolic act to start their official duties. Plantation and Commodities Minister Dato Sri Fadila Yusof began his official duties at the ministry by clocking in at 8:30 a.m.
Fadila, who is also Deputy Prime Minister, was greeted on arrival by the Ministry's Deputy Secretary General Matsani Muhammad Karil, as well as the Ministry's officials and staff. He was then ushered to his office to attend a briefing session on the Ministry with the department heads before attending the special cabinet meeting chaired at 10 a.m. After the cabinet meeting, he then headed to the Deputy Prime Minister's office to assume his official duties as Deputy Prime Minister alongside Barisan National Chairman Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi. Meanwhile, newly appointed Minister of Economy Muhammad Rafizi Ramli said his overall focus will be on taking Malaysia towards becoming a high-income nation. He said this is in view of the continued strong focus on industries and economic activities that can boost Malaysia's status to become a high-income nation. Met after clocking in as Economic Minister, Rafizi said strong focus should be on the most vulnerable groups in society economically through the hardcore poverty eradication program. He also said that the focus should also be on sustainable development goals as well as technology and the knowledge economy, adding that the most important thing to do is to make sure that there is a strong cohesion from the top leadership of the government all the way down to make sure what is being planned is actually carried out properly.
Welcome back. Malaysia has reached the grim milestone of a total 5,332,000 COVID-19 cases when it recorded 1,502 new cases on Sunday, December 4th. And according to the Health Ministry's KKM Now portal, 1,501 of the new infections were local transmissions, with one imported infection recorded.
22,505 currently active cases were also reported, with 20,889 or 92.8% of cases being home quarantined. Meanwhile, 2,093 recoveries were recorded on Sunday, bringing the cumulative number of recoveries in Malaysia to 4,941,114 since the start of the pandemic. The KKM Now portal also reported that 1,512 patients, or 6.7% of the total, are currently admitted to hospital for treatment. Intensive care unit ICU COVID patients across the country number at 104, with 70 of them requiring ventilation support. The ICU utilization rate nationwide stood at 65.5%, with 8 states or localities recording ICU usage rates of more than 60%. Kedah reported the highest ICU utilization rate at 88.5%, followed by Labuan 85.7%, Johor 83%, Kelantan 80.3%, Selangor 73.2%, Putrajaya 71.4%, Perak 64.6%, and Sabah 62.9%. Meanwhile, according to the Health Ministry's GitHub data repository, 3 COVID-19 deaths were reported on Sunday, bringing the death toll in the nation to 36,652.
The Employees Provident Fund (EPF) recorded a total gross investment income of 39.31 billion ringgit for the 9 months ending September 30th, 2022. The figure is a decrease of 18% or 8.71 billion ringgit from the 48.02 billion ringgit recorded in the same period last year. Now, similarly, total gross investment income for the third quarter of 2022 recorded a dip of 1.65 billion ringgit or 12%, from 13.97 billion ringgit in Q3 2021 to 12.32 billion ringgit this year. Now, however, the number was 11% higher compared to the 11.14 billion ringgit recorded in the second quarter of the year.
Chief Executive Officer Datuk Seri Amir Hamzah Azizan attributed third quarter of 2022's better performance to the stabilized market conditions for both equity and fixed income investments. In the third quarter of 2022, equities accounted for 45% of EPF's total gross investment income at 5.49 billion ringgit, while fixed income instruments contributed 39% or 4.77 billion ringgit. Real estate and infrastructure registered an income of 1.67 billion ringgit, while income from money market instruments stood at 390 million ringgit. EPF's overseas investments, which make up 36% of its total investment assets, continue to be a major contributor to its income at 5.28 billion ringgit or 43% of its total gross investment income. Meanwhile, as of September 2022, the EPF's assets under management stood at 961.01 billion ringgit. Despite the numerous macroeconomic challenges, the EPF's asset growth remained healthy as contributions received for 9 months of 2022 amounted to 63.61 billion ringgit.
In world news, the eruption of Mount Semeru, located in the East Java province of Indonesia, has prompted authorities to set their volcano alert to the highest level. According to Japan's meteorology agency, the smoke reached a height of 15 kilometers while monitoring a possible occurrence of tsunamis.
Immediate evacuations were carried out for the people living nearby. Though no casualties have been reported, over 2,500 people are now left with no place to call home. Authorities also warned not to conduct any activities within 8 kilometers of the eruption grounds, imposing it as a no-go zone. The volcano, which erupted at 2:46 p.m. local time on Sunday, follows a series of earthquakes in the west of Java, including one last month that killed more than 300 people. Last year, Semeru's eruption has killed 50 people. At the same time, the world's largest active volcano in Hawaii, known as the Mauna Loa, has erupted on Sunday night. A video by the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory shows that lava spewing out and heading towards the island's main highway, Saddle Road. The U.S. Geological Survey said it is difficult to predict when or if the flow will impact the highway due to the unpredictable nature of lava flows, while adding that the lava could reach the highway within a week. Mauna Loa stands tall with a height of 4,169 meters of the Pacific Ocean as part of a chain of volcanoes that forms the islands of Hawaii. The volcano last erupted in 1984.
And that's it for TVS News at 5. I'm Razi Ahmad. Thank you for watching.